Hello, everybody. We are live. Happy Friday. Let's get right to it. Oh, let me add the comments here. It's kind of fun. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to do the segment Hater of the Week. I could do this every week. I just don't. There's not, they're not all that interesting oftentimes. We're going to do Lover of the Week, which was introduced a few months ago. And then I'm going to talk about Punch the macaque, this monkey in Japan that's all over the internet, and I have some opinions about it, and it's heartbreaking, and it's interesting, and it's zoos and wild animals, and it's stuff that I'm interested in. Hopefully you guys are too. Okay, so first is Hater of the Week. So the video that I just posted today, which is Duke being worked up on leash and meeting this other Doberman, I just posted on YouTube today. That video was actually in response to an email that I got from somebody who doesn't like me at all. And I'm going to go through the emails with you. I told him we're going to be on today, and I said, if you want to jump into the live, you should jump in. I will be sure to highlight your comments. I told the guy, because we've had emails back and forth because it's enjoyable to me. I said, I'll highlight your comments, but he wants to debate me. And so that is up for, I'll show you the email where we talk about that. And he wanted me to make him, he doesn't like me. And I'll tell you why I decided to engage with this guy. Okay. It wasn't for content really. It kind of became that. And by the way, I think it's a bit obnoxious when people like me use this stuff for content. But I disliked the tone of the email so much, and that I had to engage, and then it just kind of went where it went. But the tone, I don't know people like this, but I know there's people out there like this that have this tone, and it really rubs me the wrong way. If someone were to call me and go, I really don't like your methods, and the tone was different, that I get that a fair amount. That's one thing. Okay. Or if they're really kind of in it to try to not even learn, but they disagree with me, but they're open to it, or they think they're better. Maybe they're not better, but they're different, and they like their method. Like, it's the tone. So here we go. I'll glance at the chat while I'm doing this. So this is the first email. Nope, that is not the first email. We are going to go. Okay. First email is here. And it just starts off bad, right? Please stop. You and I, if you're on social media especially, you know the people who start with please. And it's not really a please, right? They'll go, please quit being a fascist. They're like, please, they'll call you the worst thing ever, but they'll say please for it. I don't know why they do it. It's the most condescending thing in the world, but they do it. I get emails occasionally, and they're like, please stop being a horrible dog trainer. Well, just say stop being a horrible dog trainer. Like, forget the please. It's this talk down to you thing. It's that. And I hope he's in here right now. So please stop. Then he says, please stop saying you're a dog trainer. And I'm going to break this down because I find it fascinating. I don't understand how these people think in any way, right? If I emailed somebody I hate, it would be with such a different tone than this. Please stop saying you're a dog trainer. Okay. First, you can be a horrible dog trainer and be a dog trainer. Like, we're not doctors. Like, please stop saying you're a doctor because you don't have your MD. Like, you can kind of say that. A dog trainer can call themselves a dog trainer. Who can call themselves dog trainers? Who is that? People use positive reinforcement. Are they the only dog trainers? He references Cesar Millan. Is Cesar Millan a dog trainer? You might hate him. He can call himself a dog trainer. So he says, again, tone. Please stop being a dog trainer, which is just a weird thing to say. You are simply a slick marketing machine and a clickbait trainer. Slick marketing machine. I wish I was a slick marketing machine. I posted a short a week ago where I'm in the chair in the office, It looks like I woke up from a Coke binge for 2 days. I posted it. I looked so horrible. My hair was bad. My wrinkles were bad. I'm the opposite of slick. I edit my own videos. My trainers shoot my videos. So I don't know where this guy's. I'm a slick marketing machine. That's actually a compliment. I wish I was a slick marketing machine and a clickbait trainer. Yeah, I don't totally disagree. There's a bit of clickbaitness in there. I could post 1 hour long, non-edited training sessions. I would love to do that, which is the opposite of clickbait. No, nobody's going to watch it. I mean, some people will. I've thought about it. I still might do it, but you got to have a good thumbnail. Like there's a clickbaitness to this game that you have to have. It's just how it is. Okay. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Your methods teach nothing more than how to train a dog reactivity and how to have learned helplessness. All right. I mean, there's not much to go there. I mean, I would argue at the end of the session, they're less reactive. If you wanted to say, well, they go home and they're more reactive, I don't know where you're getting that from. When the owners comment, I pin the comment saying the dog's better. Are you just guessing the dogs are more reactive? I don't know where that's coming from. And learned helplessness. Certain people, like this gentleman, I believe, they hate learned helplessness. And I've never understood it. For recall, learned helplessness is wonderful. For loose leash walking, it's a little better. You don't want to live in learned helplessness. It's not a good thing to be with a kid or a dog or anything. But if the alternative is your dog runs away and gets hit by a car, learned helplessness is okay. But I only use it for one thing. And it doesn't even often kick in. But learned helplessness is not the worst thing in the world when the alternative is your dog dies. Okay. Oh, then he says, I would be glad to openly debate you anytime in any place. So, okay. Hopefully we'll do this. Let's see if he's in here. I told him we're coming on at 1. I don't know if he's here. I'll post his. Then we have questions. Okay. I find this interesting. Anytime, any place, you are the modern day equivalent of Caesar. Okay. You hate Cesar Millan. Like who do people who hate me and Cesar Millan love? That's really what I want to know. Who are the great dog trainers out there? Anyway, so I said, so I would like to do the debate if the guy's a normal person, and that's what I have to figure out. So I said, hi, Greg, before we debate, where can I see you train? I want to know the guy's just a normal human being. Facebook, IG, or just send me a link. Thanks. So I remember this years ago. I posted something on Facebook. I went to a high school with like a guy who's now like a Silicon Valley, probably billionaire. And then I went to college with a girl who isn't actually mentally handicapped, but darn close. And then I posted this thing on Facebook. And these two people, and the Silicon Valley guy's great guy, really good person, everything. He starts debating this girl that I went to college with. And I wanted to be like, bro, if you knew who you were in this long debate with, you would get out of it real quick. So like, I don't want to debate some challenged person. I'm not saying he is. I doubt he is, but it can go bad. So I need a little bit of, all right. Somebody, longtime person is saying something to me. Beckman's Archer. When deciding to respond to anyone, you need to determine is they are coming from an emotional response or logic reason before deciding to put any time. You guys, I could get on here and answer your dog training questions. All right. And talk about things, or I could do this. This is more fun for me. Maybe it's not more fun for you, but it's more fun for me. Okay. So that's the first thing. I just read someone said, hater of the week sounds like a nut job. I don't know if he's a nut job. Okay. Now we're going to go to arguably the second one. We're going to remove that. And we're going to go, let's try this one. This is the third one. Okay, we're going to go boop. Oh, that's that one. Second one. And then he says, I'll send my stuff when you send me a video of you actually training, not putting a terrified muzzled dog in with your unmuzzled dog. Okay, so now we're debating. Okay, so I go, okay, I will. And that's why I made that Duke video this morning. I'll send my stuff when you send me a video of actually training. Actually training. I don't know what that means. I guess they mean shaping with positive reinforcement. I think that's what they generally mean. That's what they consider a trainer, and that's why they don't consider me a trainer. Not putting a terrified muzzled dog in with your unmuzzled dog. And this is a critique I've gotten a lot. If you're going to write somebody, you've got to and you want them to respond respectfully or something, you've got to stick to the truth, right? You can argue muzzled versus not muzzled. There's a debate there, and I can tell you why I do it, but you can't say terrified. They're not terrified in any way. And so you lose the debate. If you're ever going to debate somebody, you got to be honest, you got to be truthful, or you lose instantly. They're just not terrified. They are muzzled, and my dog is unmuzzled. That is true, but they're not terrified. So you lose. Then I say, okay, please be more specific of the video you want. So now I'm going, I actually like this idea. Not for him, but it gave me get out of my wheelhouse a little bit. He wants a certain video. He actually tells me exactly what video he wants, and I try to do it. But I see that there's some potential here for me making a video that is asked for by somebody and is out of my wheelhouse a little bit. Or not even out of my wheelhouse. My video this morning was in response, and it wasn't out of my wheelhouse. Please be more specific of the video you want. Do you want a basic obedience? I don't know what he wants. Basic obedience video, training an aggressive dog, but not using a muzzle, or a puppy video. I don't know what he wants. I'm honestly trying to figure it out as I've got many videos. When you say actually training, do you mean shaping using positive reinforcement? Try not to speak in generalities. Be a bit more specific in the video you want to see. All right. And then the third one is, he says, I'd like to see a behavior modification video. By the way, behavior modification is the stupidest phrase. I remember 15 years ago, I started training dogs, and someone came up to me, another trainer, and they go, do you do behavior modification? I was brand new to dog training. And I was like, that's all we do. But I guess the thinking is there's basic obedience, and then there's behavior modification. Even basic obedience technically is behavior modification, but whatever. I don't even understand. What else would you do as a trainer but behavior modification? I assume there's books and courses and groups, and they say behavior modification to mean this one thing. I don't know what else a trainer would do but behavior modification. What do the non-behavior modification trainers do? Okay. I've always had a problem with it. From day one, I've never understood that term. I'd like to see you do behavior modification video for a dog reactive dog and one for a dog that has barrier reactivity. Now he wants 2 videos. Okay. Treat it as if I'm a new client that brought their dog to you. I mean, I asked. I can't be mad that he's actually telling me. What I mean by actual training, here we go, is the process you would use for a new client with a reactive dog. Certainly, you just don't throw a reactive dog in with your dog and let them work it out because that's all I've ever seen you do. Yeah, certainly I don't. I mean, you got to watch videos, read between the lines a little bit, and watch a few videos to where you go, and maybe that just doesn't happen. I started at that point in part for the clickbaitiness. Most people don't want to see the people arrive in their car and me talk to them for 15 minutes in the pasture, but you got to be smarter than that and sort of read between the lines a little bit. Okay. When I see you video on social media, it reminds me of Cesar Millan. He hates Cesar Millan. And he says Cesar Millan is no longer relevant. How is Cesar Millan no longer relevant? We have new information. We have new behavior. When's the last time humans came up with new behavior information? There's things that are tweaked, and kid psychology is tweaked, and marriage psychology is tweaked, and human psychology is tweaked. But there's not really any big new stuff on the way humans or animals exist or change. There's methods that come out that go up and down. The force-free folks 15 years ago came out with this thing called BAT, behavioral adjustment training, and they freaking loved it. It was they finally had an answer for leash reactivity, and then it just went away because they go, and I looked into it and I used it, and I go, this doesn't work. Behavioral adjustment training. You could probably look it up still. And then they just stopped doing it. They were in love with it, then they just stopped doing it because it didn't work. But they talked about it for like 2 years and then just went away. That means it doesn't work. So the good stuff sticks around. The real stuff sticks around. There's not new information out there. So he says Cesar Millan, which is no longer relevant, which is insane. Greg, okay, then I say, my most recent YouTube video was based off your suggestion. It deals with reactivity, barrier aggression, and involves no muzzles. Also, you said you'd send me a video of you training after I did a video fitting your criteria. My video may not be perfect, but I didn't have a client come out since we've been talking, so I had to do it with Duke. So please send me your video. Also, I'm going to talk about this interaction on my live today. If you want to tune in at 1 p.m., you can. If you comment, I'll be sure to put it up. So then we had another exchange. I could read it, but you guys might be, hopefully you're not getting bored with this. I don't know. We could talk about dogs if you want. So that is my interaction with Hater of the Week. That was the longest Hater of the Week we've ever had. But there are a lot of, that was a good encompassing of people who dislike me, I think. Right? The tone, the talk down to you, the air of superiority, pretty much all the things that normal people dislike about other people, right? Like you see it on social media and the streets and stuff. People don't like that stuff. They don't like when people speak like that to them. You know, you got to be an honest debater. You gotta. And that's one reason, like they go, you know, politically, people go like, well, the other side is subhuman. If they're subhuman, you can talk to them any way you want. You can attack them, you know, and that's why they do it. That's why politics is the nastiest game. Animal rights is a pretty nasty game too. There's nasty games out there. Animal rights is right up there. And this is essentially an animal rights debate. This is the perceived injury to an animal. And I've talked about animal rights where they value animals so much, it's perceived injury to something unbelievably valuable. And so if I'm hurting something, right? Terrified dog in a muzzle, I'm hurting that dog. I can be talked to any way. And that comes out. And to me, this is societal problems, you know? And so that's why I think it's interesting, you know? This is not just, you know, all this stuff. So somebody says, I agree 100% with you. Oh, they're responding to somebody. You know, let's get into the comments a little bit because, you know, this is heated stuff. This is, I think, interesting stuff. We do have a comment from Trisha up here that I'll try to get to. Okay. Is this guy, Ryan says, is this guy's name John by chance? I don't know who John is. Hater of the Week sounds like a nut job. I ordered that. Oh, I bought your dog training course. I bought your dog training course classes and loved it. Oh, thanks, Brooke. Here's Brooke. When looking for a dog in the city kennel, what are a few traits to look for? I'm looking for a medium-sized, good family dog. Okay, let me try to remember that. I'm going to get through. You are kind, Joel. Strong, practical, and kind. Sorry, I got to take Brooke off there, guys. You are kind, Joel. Strong, practical, and kind. It's needed in the work you do. I come back as your skill saved my scared rescue dog. Greetings from Norway. He probably only watches the shorts and thinks that's all it takes, but you are not claiming that. Yeah, shorts are shorts. You know, it is. Those are what they are. Listen, you want to be successful in this game, you got to catch them before they do this. That's the game. I didn't hate the game, don't hate the player. Ryan will like that one. Long time commenter, listener. Good work. Been a fan for years. Let me guess. You never got a video. Oh, sorry. There is one more. I need to be fair and talk about the whole thing. So the last email is goodness. He says tell me, I couldn't fit this last email in because it only allows me to put 3 things up there. Tell me what you'd like to see in the video and I'll try to accommodate you. Hey, that's great. I'm not a paid trainer and have never represented myself as one. I didn't say he was, but he wants to debate. Let's do it. Let's do it on next week's live, Greg. Okay. As one, I need to see that you're a normal human being. And never have represented myself as one. There will be no other dogs than mine in the video. That's fine. What are you looking for? If you simply need help with your content, I've given that. So a little more subdued, Greg, probably a good thing. I said, I don't need anything special. If we're going to have a debate on my weekly live or something, I just want to make sure you're a normal person. There it is. That's it. Okay. That's it. So somebody says, first dog trainer I followed was Zach George. I tried all the methods and had pathetic results. I then found you and other balanced trainers, the proof's in the pudding. Hey, Joel, been looking at your puppy training program. I have some concerns about the program. When you say you want a dog like Prince, you mean like a training dog or have a good dog? Just a good dog. Yeah, no, it's not a helper dog program. You could argue like Duke and Prince have the sort of personality most people want. That's kind of what I'm saying. You don't want your dogs to do what my dogs do, and you want your dogs to be better than my dogs in some ways. But in my opinion, the thing you get with my programs is not sit, stay, although we go over it and it's important. It is raising very confident, happy, well-trained dogs. And then everything that branches off from there. And I would argue my dogs are those things. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay. Is there a way to test if bringing treats out? Okay. Now we're getting to questions. If you guys want to comment on Hater of the Week, you can. Is there a way to test if bringing treats out could get ugly? Recent video of Duke and the other intact Dobie. Yeah, I knew it wouldn't. I just, in that video, I gave them treats. I reached over, gave Zeppelin treats. Treats can be bad when they fall on the ground. And if you're not, I was standing here, my leash was in my left hand with a certain distance to the leash. Then I reached to my right and fed Zeppelin. So even if he gets mad, look at where my hand is. Boop. He's not getting there. Now, if my worst case scenario, this leash is in this hand, I reach this way. Duke has access to Zeppelin. In that video, I talked a lot about leash and where to move. And that's just always a thing with aggressive dogs and they weren't aggressive, but is how long is the leash? Not tight. Do you have 1 centimeter of looseness? Because the dog is a foot away from the other dog. If your dog is 1 pound, you can give them 11 inches of leash. If your dog is 80 pounds, you better catch them at 1 centimeter because they're going to still go 11 inches and 1 centimeter. So the leash and where it is and what hand it is and what you can do and where your body is very important when meeting of dogs. And that was one of the first videos I've ever done. And I hope you understood it, where I was like, my trainer needed to move on this side, and I slowed it down and talked about that. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Okay, here's back to that question. What traits would you look for if you had pick of the litter of European Doberman puppies? The intent is for the puppy to be going everywhere that it is allowed. No, not training an ESA. All right. I don't act like I'm a great picker of litter dogs, because hopefully you know me at this point and go, I'm not going to comment on stuff I haven't done 100 times. Cream hasn't risen to the top on me knowing whether I am right. Okay. However, I would go, oh, there's the scared one in the corner. Kind of don't want that one if I'm going to take it everywhere. Oh, there's the one that's guarding its food from all the brothers and sisters. Kind of don't want that one. I'll take the middle of the road one. But that's the only advice I'm going to give, because I haven't done that 10 times. I've done it 4 times. Cream hasn't risen to the top. If you want jumping method, I've done it thousands of times, and I'm open to all methods, and hence the shed method. Cream rose to the top. Why? How wouldn't it? I'm open to everything, and I've done it 10,000 times. So it is the best. Leash step-on method. I mean, and there's some variations to shed and to leash step-on method and to the door method. There's variations on it when it doesn't work, when the dog's too bad and it's correcting itself and it doesn't work. But for most people, those methods are the best. Okay, so that was that, Emily. Wow, a lot of Dobie people in here. 5-year-old Dobie was created when little, now is free. Now it's free in the house at night. We are about to get a Dobie puppy this week. How should we handle crate training? Should it crate where we sleep or not? The puppy, I guess. Crates in your room have pros and cons. The con being every little movement you might wake up. Whining is going to be super annoying. Crates out, but the puppy might be more comfortable. The puppy might be less comfortable going, there's my mom and dad in that bed. I want to get there. I see them. Crate in the hallway. Not every movement wakes you up. Not every whine wakes you up. Or crate in the other room. If the crate in your room you have to test both and you have to figure it out. There's not one answer to that, in my opinion. I don't think a Doberman is fair. The first dog, me and my wife got better together with a Doberman puppy, and that dog was okay. There's a lot of questions. All right, let's get to lover of the week, guys. So, I can't fit. Let me try to get rid of this. Remove. I got to remove these. And then we're going to get to Punch the monkey. This little monkey, macaque, in Japan that carries around a stuffed animal, and all the other monkeys are freaking mean to him. It's horrible. Okay, so we're going to go like this. This one. No, wrong one. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to read this guy's, and then I'm going to show you. I want to show you a picture of his dog. Here it is. He's going to be happy with this. Okay, so look at this little dog. This is a fan who emailed, and he says, I just want to. Oh my goodness. There's this little puppy. Sorry, guys. I know this is boring. Losing people as we speak. He said, "Hi, Joel. My name is Rich, and I just wanted to send you an email about how impressed I am with your style of training, the philosophy or something of how a dog's brain develops as they grow. I've been watching several YouTube dog training, and you are what I've been looking for, and I can see the changes going on with my new pup. His name is Charmander. I think that's a character. That's a Pokemon. I know that, I think. And he's now about 15 weeks old, and I'm also impressed with how quickly he's learning. He has the potty training figured out within about 2 weeks. Boy, am I glad I adopted him from our local animal humane society back in January. And actually, he adopted me. Thanks again for sharing your videos. And yes, I am subscribed." Okay. There he is. There's Charmander. Kind of looks like Charmander, the guy. That's Lover of the Week, which is a segment and oddly named. Charmander? Yeah, I think that's it. Char. All right. And then last, we've got Punch the Monkey. If you've seen him on social media, is a big star right now. So I wanted to talk about that. I do have a video, but we'll do questions and then we'll get into that. Okay. Lover of the Week is not new. Jesus reigns. But I don't do it every week. And I randomly called it Lover of the Week. It's just opposite of Hater of the Week, right? Okay. Questions, comments? All right. This person says, "Are there any channels you recommend for more intermediate jobs for dogs, i.e. tracking, protection, biting?" There's a lot of like Malinois kind of sport guys out there. That's not going to be hard to find. I'm sure there's protection. There's none that I recommend. I'm not a big consumer of YouTube dog training. You can find them. And then longtime follower JDO says, 7-month-old border collie knows how to sit at doorways for treats, but otherwise it takes 5 minutes plus and maybe get a sit for a walk. I do not repeat the command. I think this is a question. 7-month-old border collie knows how to sit at doorway for treats, but otherwise it takes 5 minutes, 5+ minutes, and maybe get a sit for a walk. I do not repeat the command. I don't totally understand the question. Is it at the doorway that it takes 5 minutes or on a walk that takes 5 minutes? That's a long time to do anything. There has to be a way to shorten up that process. I just don't know. I guess let's act like it does matter. It takes 5 minutes to get a sit. I would go, I've lured you into a sit in the house 20 times. I've lured you in the backyard on a leash 20 times. Literal lure, treat. Sit, lure, treat. Sit, lure, treat. Sit, lure, treat. Fade out the treat. Just lure, treat. When I say fade out the treat, I generally mean fade it out as a lure, not fade it out from them. Okay? Hand signal, dog sits, treat. So you're fading out the treat. Then you do it on a leash. You have the 3Ds, distance, or just distraction. Backyard on a leash. But the leash is a different. Then you do it in the house. Then you do it close to the door. Then you do it at the door. And your dog balks. Maybe you push the butt down. I'm not a big butt pusher downer. You saw it in my last video with Duke. I did that for a variety of reasons. Push the butt down, treat. You didn't push them down like that. You touched their butt. Then they sat. You can still treat that. Nothing should take 5 minutes. If you're taking 5 minutes to do anything, you need to take a step back, go back to kindergarten, retrain the behavior. Where did you go wrong? Oh, I did it 100 times without a leash. Well, the leash is the stimulus that is now causing the problem. So go back to the living room on a leash. Okay, no, it's not the leash, Joel. It's the out the door, or it's the distraction of the walk. Well, what if you did sits on your front porch, technically outside, get it there, then get it 10 feet from there, then get it a block from there? Make sense? Make sense? I hope so. So she says it's the doorway method. So it takes 5 minutes to do the door method. Okay. 3 minutes for the door method, I would be okay with. 5 minutes. Okay. Turn. Correct. Walk in. It takes me 3 times with the worst flying out the doorway dog. Maybe 4 to get the dog to walk out the door gingerly while looking at me. 4 times. I'm turning no matter what. The doorway method is not wait till they do something and turn. You're releasing and you're turning. And if they're good, quote unquote good, they'll just turn with you. Great. I can reinforce them. If they're bad, they hit the end leash as you're turning and they come in anyway. The doorway method is a turn no matter what. And literally 1 step, maybe, and then a turn. And you're only doing that step so they fly. And you got to be careful. If they're going to fly, you need to ease the correction. You know, does that make sense? Joel, question. Will using a flirt pole to satiate the breed characteristics of a terrier increase prey drive? Flirt poles. There's trainers, they're just in love with the flirt pole. I'm more open to the flirt pole than probably I ever was with difficult cases. But let's go as like redirection. Okay. Is it Band-Aid-ish? Yes, I think it probably is. I have this thing in my head about certain things. Your dog, your healer nips dogs in the back legs. Do we do sheep herding with them? Satiate the behavior and potentially train an off switch if we can, or don't ever let them do the behavior on any organism. You can make a case for both of those things. I don't know. I think it goes on an individual basis and the owner to know which one to do. I can make a case for both of them. Satiate it. I'm a big satiation guy. If they have to do it, I would satiate it. Okay, if your terrier has a prey drive that cannot be quelled, then you should probably satiate it on a flirt pole. If your terrier likes to go after things because it's jerky or then I don't know that we want to make them go after more things, even if it's a feather at the end of a pole. But maybe we can't fight against it. It's a tough question for me. So, hopefully that makes sense. Everybody? What kind of question is this? Is this for me? Okay, I haven't read this yet. Do you think certain breeds can't be trained out of certain behaviors? Yes. I have a hound mix who barks at dogs and lunges at any animal on leash or not. Your methods help, but I'm still having trouble. Yes, I absolutely do. I think there's certain people that can't be trained out of things. I think there's mental illness in dogs and people that really can't be trained out. I think everything can be helped percentages. I will sit down with a client for a board and train or for a private session, and I will literally, sometimes before we start, sometimes after we start, sometimes at the end, I'll say, I think we can get this. With this method, I think we're 20% less. With this method, we're 30. And with this, we're 10. That's 60% better. But these are 3 different methods that work on the dog's brain, completely different. And that I still have 40% to work with that I don't think we can get, or that, the person can't get on their own without me, or that I don't think I can even get if I owned the dog. Well, is 60% good enough? That's the way my brain thinks. My brain thinks in percentages. That's all I do with dogs. When I'm trying to help a dog, fix a dog, whatever, is I go, this method will get it on this much, this much, this much. Sometimes it's 90, 95%. Sometimes it's 20%, based on the dog and the person. So yeah, I think recall with a beagle is really hard. I think quelling a prey drive in, I don't know, what's the most prey drivey dog? Is it a Borzoi, or is it actually a sight hound? Is it a Doberman? Is it a terrier? I think it's hard. And you have to go. I had a phone session the other day with somebody. My prescription to actually get rid of the behavior, I could tell, would have made her a person she didn't want to be. It would have, I said, your dog is so in love with you that he tells every other dog in person to get out of here. And I go, yeah, we can fix it. But you're going to have to do some things that I don't think you want to do. And that's fine. We can do this other way. So I've got to take that into account as well. Should she be the way I ask her? Maybe, maybe not. Do I think she will, or capable of it even? No. And it wasn't even like she was doing it wrong, anything wrong. It just was the relationship, What's your all-time favorite family protection dog? A Rottweiler, I would say. Okay, guys, I've tried to get to a lot of questions. I think I have a video of this Punch the Macaque. You ready to cry? Do you want to actually cry? You're going to cry. Dude, watch this. So I'm going to get into macaque. I'm going to try to think back to my schooling, get into macaques a little bit and what their hierarchy is like, which maybe doesn't apply here, but I think of you. Look at it. Look at this little macaque. And then he's got this stuffed animal. He's at a zoo. It looks like the wild. He's at a zoo. And he was abandoned by his mom. And they gave him a stuffed animal. And now he just carries this around with him. And this is how monkeys are, especially macaques. They're so mean. Mean, whatever that means. Macaque, animal, wild terms. Look at this little guy. He's all over the internet. Look at him. He has no mom. Totally forlorn. So when I first saw this, I was like, I thought it was in the wild first. I saw a bunch of videos. Like, what can they do about this? And I've changed my stance. I literally saw this like 2 days ago. But I was like, this is kind of unacceptable. This little dude being this lost. Can you imagine not having a mom, being in monkey world? Monkeys are horrible. They're super mean. And I was like, these keepers, once I figured out it wasn't the wild, I said, these keepers need to do something about this. And now he's starting to warm up. I think some monkeys, you don't know what's AI, you don't know what's other macaque videos. Like, you can't tell what's real on the internet. But I think other monkeys are starting to warm up to him and take him in and groom him. And then I was like, okay, maybe the keepers or management at the zoo, it's a Japanese zoo, they knew, which is smart and probably true, best case scenario, the monkeys take him in. Worst case scenario, he gets killed, or he never gets accepted. And they can social animals can die of not being accepted. They just wither away and die. And macaques are very social. And so best case scenario, he gets along with the monkeys. Then I said, what could the keepers do to get him along with the monkeys? And I didn't come up with anything. There could be some reinforcement of them together. I don't think it works. There could be, if the keeper's the boss, which it's a zoo, they don't do that. The keeper could come out, hold the monkey, which I saw a video where the little monkey jumped on the keeper and whatnot. But that's only if the other monkeys think the keeper is cool guy. They don't think the keeper is cool guy. They don't care about how much he loves. Plus, macaques are smart and they're social, so they might have emotional intelligence, and they might get mad at the monkey, the little monkey, because he's keeper's favorite, because macaques are smart animals. So I really didn't come up with a way except leave him out there, let him take his lumps. I hope he doesn't die, but eventually they'll take him in. And so I came full circle and said, I think they're probably doing the right thing by leaving him out there. Okay, macaque hierarchy. Why does macaque hierarchy matter? Because he's a baby monkey and there's a baby deal with macaques that I'm going to try to get kind of right. So macaques have a unique hierarchy in that I don't remember where the males and females sit. Okay. But the firstborn baby is the next dominant one. And that's like humans as well. Like our youngest can get away with a lot more than our oldest. Like you don't mess with the baby. That's kind of like them. But you would think like, oh, the firstborn baby, now that baby is 3 years old. He or she is above, let's just say females, because it's a female dominant society in a way. That female will be above the baby, right under the mother. It's not like that. That firstborn drops, and then each baby that happens is higher up than the firstborn and the secondborn. Does that make sense? It's kind of unique. So anyway, that I thought about that a little bit and how that could factor into this. But that's my spiel on macaques. There's a lot of macaques. There's a lot of different kinds of macaques. I assume these are those Japanese macaques that you see like jump in the water in Japan, that cold water. Those are you've probably seen those videos. Then there's macaques in like India. I don't know if there's macaques in Africa. They're all old world. So there's old world, new world. New world would be the Americas. Old world would be everything else. Macaques are an old, whereas spider monkeys, capuchins, are new world monkeys. They only live in the Americas. Macaques, baboons, they're old world monkeys. Makes sense? This is your exotic animal information for the day. Is this a Joe Barkman dog training channel? I don't know what that means. Okay, guys, we are about done. Sadly, better him tough it out through that versus spending adolescent life isolated. Yeah, I agree. It's probably better he just toughs it out with the chance that he gets accepted. And I think he probably will. I mean, just hanging out around him, they're going to be less get out of here to him. He just doesn't have a mom to protect him. And but hopefully some mom takes him in. The group takes him in. Someone takes him in. This person says monkeys can't be trusted. That's true in part. Monkeys are bullies. This person will take him. All right, guys. Okay, here's a moderately interesting question. My dog walks on me when I sleep like he doesn't care what's in front of him. My dog walks on me when I sleep like he doesn't care what's in front of him. I would hate being walked on, like my face, by a big dog. If I don't know if that's what that means. Walks on me. I don't even know what I'd do if a dog walked on me. I guess they walk. Get out of here. Get off the bed. You can't walk on me. Okay. Guys, I'm going to put this in here. Beckman Pro. A lot of traction on the videos. This is where you can become a dog trainer. If you have an aggressive dog, you get a bunch of videos. And if you have a puppy, go to Beckman Beckman Pro. And pro.com. And if you want to make an appointment with me, you can find it at Beckman Pro. You can also find it at Beckman's Dog Training, but either one, phone appointments, private sessions. I'm now offering a puppy program if you're outside of Southern California. puppy session, reduced price. Bring your puppy out, and we'll train and we'll tell you what kind of puppy you have and what you need to work on. A reduced price, so you don't have to pay the normal session. It's special for puppies. Okay, guys, that's it. We are done. I will see you next week. Thank you for everyone being here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.